Hi! Welcome to my kitchen. It's been a while. It's been a really long time, but I thought I'd make a cooking video today. Partially because I have the time to make one. They are fairly time consuming. I've got the house to myself, I've got the afternoon off. I was gonna make this for my lunch anyway, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna film it because, and this is the other reason why I'm doing it, I actually get a lot of requests for food videos and recipe videos and tutorials, which is unexpected. I've done a couple, but yeah, I get requests, so I'm going to be making something that I am obsessed with. I kind of developed this a few months ago and I've been pretty much making it non-stop ever since. I'm going to be making a sushi bowl today. I love Asian cuisine. I make a lot of Asian food. Particularly, I'm obsessed with sushi. I absolutely love it. I could eat avocado sushi all day for the rest of my life and I'd be pretty happy. My only problem with sushi is that it's, you know, you'd have to eat a lot for it to be really filling. So one day I was just inspired and I was like, why don't I take, like, you know, you get like a burrito bowl? Why don't I just do that with sushi? So I can just deconstruct all the bits I like about sushi and like have more of it. So yeah, if you wanna see how I do it, how I make it, it's fairly easy, really straightforward. You don't need too many ingredients. It's worthwhile. And I'm gonna do the video like this. I'm gonna do like a chatty video. I can't be bothered to film it and then do a voiceover, so we're doing it like this. Okay, let's go. God, the lighting's way more flattering here. Anyway, here are the ingredients you're gonna need. One of my favorite sort of signature dishes, which I tried to make a tutorial for ages ago, but it didn't end up working out, is like a sweet chili tofu with jasmine rice situation. I used to make that a lot, and basically it's a similar concept. I've just made it more sushi-like. I love tofu so much. I feel like I know how to cook it really well. So I incorporate tofu into this, which just makes it more filling. It's, you know, packed full of protein and all that stuff. So what you're gonna need, I use this brand of tofu. It's the tofu company, the naked one. You can find this in Tesco's, Sainsbury's, I'm not sure where else. I like this one because it's the firmest one that I've found, so it's really good for frying. Yeah, just really great overall. So you're gonna need some tofu, and then I usually just put some peppers with it, and a shallot as well. That's basically it. You can add things like tender stem broccoli or like normal broccoli if you want, so you could really like create a dish out of it, but because it's kind of designed to be eaten cold as well, ish, I like to eat it like at room temperature. These are the main ingredients that I use. It makes it super simple. I use a bunch of different like sauces and stuff as well, but I actually have some teriyaki sauce lying around in my fridge anyway, which I love, so I might add a little bit of that. So that's all we're gonna need for now. So boil a kettle, mine's already boiled, and we're gonna get the rice on. Good. I don't really like measure my rice or anything, but I tend to put like, if I want this sort of for leftovers for a few days, I put about that much in. That'll probably give me about 3 portions of rice. And then you add your boiling water. So the trick is not to add too much, because we don't want rice pudding, but you don't want to add too little either, because you don't want it to burn. So general rule of thumb is, I would say about 1 centimetre of water above the rice to start off with. Definitely worth monitoring as you go along. So I'm going to add some seasoning to this afterwards, but I always just add a little bit of salt now. And then turn the heat down to the lowest setting. Put a lid on it and leave it. We're just going to let it do its thing. So the rice should take about 15 minutes to cook. So I like to get that on first because we don't want it to be too hot when it's finished. We want it to cool down. So at this point I would prep the filling. So I'm gonna do the tofu first. You won't need all of this. Because we've got about 3 portions of rice, I would probably do about half this block of tofu, and then what you want to do is you want to slice it into cubes. You can do them as small or as big as, so let's leave that to one side. And then you just want to dice your pepper. Okay, so that's all diced. We're going to slice the shallot now as well, but this gets cooked afterwards. I wouldn't recommend using a normal onion for this. I pretty much only exclusively eat shallots now, just because they're not as fragrant, they're a lot sweeter, they take literally half the time to cook, but onions can be quite like overpowering, and that's not really what we want for this. So as for storing the tofu, what you can do is it comes with a little bit of liquid in it anyway. I just leave it in the packet and make sure you put it in like an airtight container. And that should keep in your fridge for, keep well for about a week or a week and a half. Okay, back to the shallots. So you just want to thinly, this is a double whammy. Just want to thinly slice these. But like I said, we'll come back to them later. We're gonna fry all of this now. Okay, so at this point, it's good to check on the rice. I just like to give it a bit of a stir because we're not using any sort of oil. Obviously it'll have more of a tendency to stick to the bottom. So just give it a little stir around. There's still a sufficient amount of liquid in there, so I'm not gonna worry about that, about adding like more to it for now. Okay, so we're moving on to the pan. So you just want to pop it on high heat. I'm gonna add some olive oil. I would typically also add sesame oil, but I actually don't have any at the moment, which is a shame. But if you do have it, I would recommend adding it now, just for more flavor. And we're going to add the tofu and the peppers together. Now, tofu doesn't actually take that long to cook. Okay, so I'm gonna have to put the extractor fan on now, so if you hear the background noise, that's it. But yeah, you basically just let that fry on medium to high heat for a little while, just keep rotating it as and when. Mainly the tofu, then the peppers, just because you want each side to fry nicely, you want it all to crisp up nicely. We're going to add some stuff to that afterwards, and the shallots as well. So I don't know if you can see that, but you can see that it's really starting to brown up nicely. It's not ideal that you have to keep you don't have to turn all the pieces all the time, but you do want it to fry kind of evenly on each side. So this is the only downfall of maybe slicing them a bit smaller. Also at this point I would just check on the rice again. It started to absorb, yeah, it's absorbed all the water now. So when it does that, sometimes it means it's done. But in order to check, I just try a little bit. Yeah, it needs a little bit longer. I'm gonna add a tiny bit more water to that. You don't need to worry about reboiling it or whatever. There's a lot of rice here, so it takes a little bit more attention. Yeah, you can see it's frying up really nicely now. I'm just going to lower the heat ever so slightly, and I'm going to add the shallots. You can also add garlic if you have it. I don't have it. This is the bit that you can play around with. I'd also add at this point, if you're doing like broccoli or like bok choy or anything like that, I would also add that in now. Okay, so I'm gonna add some tamari. It's basically gluten-free soy sauce, but I use it for everything because I find it's not as salt heavy. Add a good splash of that. We're gonna just add a hint of the teriyaki as well. I don't want to go too teriyaki crazy. So that's gonna create a really nice flavoursome tofu. So I'm just letting the tofu and the peppers and stuff cook on like a lower heat. Just make sure that the shallots are really nice and soft. And it'll do its thing with the flavors. I've also taken the rice off of the heat now, and I've just left it with the lid off so that it can cool down a little bit more. Now I'm gonna prep the toppings. So I have an avocado. I would also usually use cucumber, but I don't have any at the moment, but would definitely recommend doing cucumber as well. The things we're gonna top it with, we've got some nori seaweed. You can find this in most like large supermarkets. This is sort of essential for any kind of sushi dish, and it really does make it when you add it to the top. I am also going to add some vegan mayonnaise, because for me it's traditional in a lot of Japanese cuisine, and when I grew up and I was introduced to sushi in South Africa, they put Japanese mayonnaise in a lot of their sushi dishes, and for me it's something that really made the dish. They do it less so, I've noticed here. So for me, mayonnaise is essential, and this is the best one by far. I also top it off with some black sesame seeds, but you don't have to. I literally just bought this because I was going through like a sushi making phase, and I wanted it to be a little bit fancier. I bought it ages ago. I put it on all my Asian dishes, and honestly it lasts such a long time. So if you want to be fancy and just have this sitting in your cupboard, then do it. Sesame seeds. I'm also going to put some of the sriracha mayonnaise on it as well. I just forgot to mention, before I started doing the avocado, I took the tofu and stuff off the heat. We can eat now. So as you can see, the rice is still probably hotter than I would like, but I'm hungry. The rice is really fluffy. So what I would do is, because I've got quite a lot of rice here and I don't know if I want to keep it all for like Asian themed dishes, I'm gonna season it in my bowl. And then you want some rice vinegar and some mirin. These are the seasonings that you would use for sushi rice. You don't have to go out of your way to buy these things. You can absolutely just have the rice plain, but this kind of gives it that sushi taste. It's not ideal doing it this way, but hey, it works. So I'm gonna be really careful with this stuff because it is pungent. So I'm just gonna add a few drops, and then you can be a lot more generous with the mirin. Yeah. I've actually added too much rice vinegar, so oh, before I add this to the rice, something I forgot to mention. I know I've put teriyaki on this already, but I'm just obsessed with sweet chili sauce. This is my favorite one. I get it from my local Asian supermarket. It's a Vietnamese sweet chili, and it is so good. I'm just gonna add some of that. Okay, so avocado time. It doesn't make it the prettiest, but hey, I'm gonna do an accurate representation of how I make this dish. Yeah, half an avocado seems like enough, and then if you add your cucumber as well, but I'm gonna go whole avocado. We're gonna add a healthy dollop of mayonnaise. I know that looks like a lot, but I love mayonnaise, okay? I usually do this. I usually will like dollop it around so that I don't have to disturb it too much, if you know what I mean. Okay, is that better? And then unfortunately my sriracha thing has broken somehow, so I can't get the nice beautiful little squeegee, so we're just gonna have to pour it. Ooh. Fun fact, sriracha mayo is vegan. It's not actually mayonnaise. They call it like miyu. You can't read that at all. But yeah, just adds a little bit of spice, good stuff. Now with the black sesame seeds. Sesame seeds are really good for you. They just make it look nice, and also they give it a bit of texture. And now we do the seaweed. So I tend to just use half of one of these sheets. What I do is I like to slice it into strips. And then I like to line them all up and then just slice them. All over. You can use a whole sheet if you want. I just find that half is enough for me. So hey, we did it. Congrats, well done. You didn't do shit. I did all the work. But this is it. You can't tell me that this doesn't look good. This looks really, really good. And I'll try it for you if you want. I know mukbang is a popular thing. But just mainly to like round off the story so that you get like full satisfaction. You gotta make sure you get a little bit of everything in it. Yeah. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna go and enjoy this now. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a lot. Yeah, that's basically it. So try it, have fun. If you make it, tag me in some pictures, that'll be cool. Or just like, I don't know, send me an Instagram message and be like, hey, I made it, here's the result. That would be cool. Let me know if you like this kind of a video. I've got other dishes that I make, which I am happy to make tutorials for. I make a really good vegan spaghetti carbonara. It's so good. So hey, I can do that as well. Let me know. Yeah, until next time, good night.